Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to all of you. And thanks for being punctual right on time, 7 p.m. And we will not wait, we'll start respecting the fact that you're here on time. Thanks for coming for the presidential rally of Mr. Tan Kim Lian. It gives me great pleasure to see you here. My name is Vijay Kumar, and I will be your MC for this evening. And for those of you who find difficulty pronouncing my name, you can call me by my Chinese name, Wei Jian. Remember, this is the last outdoor election rally that you'll be attending for the next 6 years. Do you want to make this a memorable event?
It was like she was phoning it in.
If so, we are not here to talk to you. We are here to discuss with you.
Yeah, I remember her voice.
Discussion is two-way.
I remember her voice.
So let's try this. And I know that some of you are far, far away. It's a bit too far for you to see us, but we can still see you. So let's try. When I say give me a 1, you say 1. So give me a 1. Give me a 2. Give me a 3. Give me a 4. Give me a high 5. Oh, I can hear you. Well done. Okay. I'm sure you're keen to know who are on the list of speakers. But before that, let us discuss something. Mr. Khan has been an active PAP member, although he has not been active for the past decade. So is Mr. Khan pro-PAP? Mr. Khan resigned from the PAP 3 years ago. He has been seen at some opposition events, including the launch of Mr. J.B. Jeyaretnam's Freedom Party. He has spoken on one of the opposition party rallies. So, is Mr. Tan pro-opposition? What do you think? PAP hands up. No hands. Opposition hands up. No hands. Exactly. Mr. Tan is neither pro-PAP nor pro-opposition. He is pro-Singaporean. As such, on the list of speakers today, we have a very colorful list of speakers. Today on the list, we have a variety of speakers. People who come from all sections of life. Today on the speakers list, we have a president scholar. I know a lot of you think it's me, but it's not me. We have a Colombo Plan scholar, a national netball player, entrepreneurs, degree holders, non-degree holders, members of the PAP, members of the opposition party, a teacher, retirees, healthcare worker. The list is very long, very varied. I'm sure some of you attended yesterday's rally, and I'm sure some of you attended this afternoon's rally. I'm sure you would not have seen this varied list. You would probably have seen doctors, lawyers, We are different. We are pro-Singaporean, we are pro-people. Each of them who's going to be speaking today had some way or the other had their lives touched positively by Mr. Tan Kim Lian. They were not invited to speak. They volunteered because they wanted to share with all of us what many of us already know and what many of us should know. That Mr. Tan Kim Lian is a man of honesty. That Mr. Tan Kim Lian is a man of courage. That Mr. Tan Kim Lian is a man who has got unbelievable positive attitude and energy. That Mr. Tan Kim Lian is dedicated most of his adult life to public service. But most importantly, they want to share with us why Mr. Tan Kim Lian should be Singapore's next elected president. With that, let me introduce the first speaker of tonight. This speaker is known to all of us within the campaign committee as Kuan Yu. But his name is Kuan Yu Keng, 63. He's retired. He's a former regional sales manager of MNC. He previously contested in the general elections in 1988, 1991, and 1997 as an SDP candidate. How many of you speak Cantonese here? Okay. So, Mr. Kuan Yu Keng will speak in Cantonese and English. Mr. Kuan, please.
Thank you, VJ。大家晚上好，我姓關，叫關宇京，我係陳憲良先生嘅支持者。我哋呢個組織今晚係要求我用廣東話同你哋即是討論下關於今次總統大選嘅要求，同埋陳先生為人嘅宗旨。陳先生在呢處總統大選，佢首先投出5樣，即是一個候選人最主要嘅要求係乜嘢呢？佢首先佢話呢個總統候選人應該有 honesty 誠信。fairness 公正 positive attitude 積極性 courage 勇敢同埋 public service 為大眾服務，呢個係5樣值得可佩嘅資格。阿陳先生。我想大家都已經知道，曾經係做過呢個職中英康嘅保險合作社嘅總裁，做咗20多年啦。佢在呢幾乎30年做過英康嘅總裁，係到對於財政方面嘅管理係有相當濃厚嘅經驗，所以如果佢當選為新加坡總統，根本上對大經濟嘅發展、對大經濟嘅了解根本係冇問題嘅，佢係相當有資格成為我哋新加坡總統。仲有前幾日，陳先生有宣佈過，如果佢中選為新加坡總統呢，佢會成立佢一個私人嘅諮詢委員 （Personal Presidential Council）。嗱，呢個委員呢，係同現在政府成立嘅所謂 Council of Presidential Advisor 唔一樣，嗰個係政府嚟協助總統。不過陳先生為咗要接近人民，佢會成立佢自己私人嘅諮詢委員會。即是 his own personal advisory council。 陳先生亦都係一個相當獨立性嘅人士。佢如果係會中選為新加坡總統呢，佢會一個相當獨立嘅立位嚟處理佢個任務，佢唔會亂受外邊嘅影響，佢係有一個有宗旨、有分析、有為人民心嚟做佢個工作。在今次個大選，我希望新加坡人民會利用你哋個理智、你哋個才智、你哋個聰明嚟分析邊一個候選人係會為你哋推出你哋個利益，為新加坡人民個利益設想個做法。你哋大家都知道，市面上好多人話陳先生係曾經人民行動黨嘅會員，不知係會員，甚至係一個幹部添。不過陳先生已經脱離咗人民行動黨。陳先生，我重複，係一個獨立嘅人士，佢唔會受某一個政黨嘅影響嘅。佢主要個目的就係為人民利益嚟今次出嚟競選呢個總統嘅。大家亦都知道，啱啱3個月前，我哋曾經有一個新加坡大選，而家就有一個總統嘅大選啦。難得呢個機會，呢個機會好難，啱啱2個大選啱在同一年嚟舉行。人民行動黨已經選入做政府啦。咁樣我哋再想下，我哋應唔應該再選多一個人民行動黨嘅人入做總統呢？我哋認為，我哋應該選嘅係一個獨立人士，佢不會受到人民行動黨嚟控制佢嘅總統。你啱唔啱呢？多謝。時間冇多，我要好快結束，因為我哋今晚有10幾個演講者，咁樣我應在呢用英文稍微向大家分析下今次大選嘅要求。Well, that was my speech in Cantonese. I hope that those of you who have heard me can transmit my message to those at home who are not here. Now, this election for the president is held within such a short period after a general election. It is coincidentally falling in the same year. Now, this kind of opportunity does not come very often. I do not know how many years later can we have a coincidence of 2 elections in 1 year, because the term of the president is 6 years, the term of parliament is 5. So we may not see 2 elections coming together in such a short period. Now, this election is not a fight for political power. This election is not a fight for the government. But this election is a fight to put check and balance on the government within the constitutional powers which was amended 10 over years ago for an elected president. Now, since there is no change of political power, the PAP is still in power no matter who is elected as the president. Hopefully it's Mr. Tan Kit Lian. The PAP will still remain in power. No change to that. But we must put some form of check and balance. There is already enough PAP men inside the Istana. The Prime Minister's office is in the Istana. The Cabinet meeting office is in the Istana. Do you want to put one more PAP man in the Istana? Oh yeah. The Minister Mentor office is also in the Istana. Although there's no more Minister Mentor already. So, do you want to put another PAP man into the Istana? No! We don't want another PAP man in the Istana. We want Mr. Tan Kit Lian to be in the Istana. We want Mr. Tan Kit Lian to check on the government. Now, Mr. Tan Kit Lian, I assure you, is a very accommodating, a very analytical person. He is not there to fight the government just for the sake of fighting. He is not there to check on the government just for the sake of checking. Mr. Tan is there to bring the problems of the people to the government. And if need be, he will have to speak out, and so be it. He is a courageous person. One of the qualities, one of his 5 qualities is courage. And he shall have the courage to speak out when he sees things are not right. He will not oppose the government just for the sake of opposing. Mr. Tan has years of experience as a CEO. He knows what is right and what is wrong. He has handled large sums of money and invested large sums of money before when he was CEO of NTUC Income. He is a rational person and he has the service of the people at heart. I wish all Singaporeans would treat this election like a by-election. We are not changing the government. We are not fighting for political power. Let me stress again. We are here to put a person into the highest office in Singapore so that he will speak out courageously. And a person who can link himself to the common man in the street and bring the aspirations and the hopes and desires of the common man into the Istana and into Parliament so that they are aware of your feelings. Support Mr. Tan Kit Lian, will you? Yes. Yes. Thank you very much.
Okay, that was Kuan Yew. How many of you here is from the teaching profession? Teachers? How many? How many of you here have lost your money in the Lehman mini bond crisis? How many of you got back your money? How many of you would have otherwise lost your money if not for Mr. Tan Kit Lian being your voice and speaking up for the people of Singapore? We have one such person here amongst us, and he is not from any political party. And he is not related to Mr. Tan Kit Lian. You will know why. You see him, you'll know why he's not related. He's here because he's one of the many people who had benefited from Mr. Tan Kit Lian's intervention in the Lehman crisis. He has never spoken in front of a large crowd. He is Mr. Lingam. Lingam cannot be related to Mr. Tan Kit Lian. And Lingam is a teacher in a private secondary school. He was previously an engineer in Motorola. This is the first time ever he's taking the stage. So let us show our support by giving him a rousing applause. Lingam.